尽量请我们的中国人来当我们的传教士，来训练他们，让他们出去派遣他们出去传教。
So today in Evergreen we have 40 Chinese on our staff, and they're doing way more than the 30 foreigners on the staff.
所以呢，我们在当地，我们有40个中国人，他们所做的工作比我们这30个外国人要多得多。
But at that point we ran into another problem.
我们又如此又另外就有问题出来。
As we had more and more Chinese staff, their children were still going to Chinese schools where there wasn't any Christian education, but they saw our children going to the Christian international school.
所以说，当我们的小孩子去那个国际的基督徒的学校的时候，他们这些中国人的孩子还是需要去普通的学校。
And they began to realize as they learned more and more about the gospel and the power of Christian values in education, what their kids were missing.
就是在他们的孩子呢，是在他们的教育当中缺乏了这个基督徒的教育。
And today in China, for the last 5 years, there's been a huge movement all over China, starting to try and figure out how do we do Christian education for the Chinese kids.
在过去5年当中，我们在中国有非常大的一个动力来研究，看怎么样能给孩童有这个基督的教育，有福音的教育。
In the last 2 or 3 years, we've attended many conferences, and one of them there were 80 organizations, and all their talk. These are Chinese organizations. I was the only white one.
就是我们在参加这个会里面有80个这个组织呢，大部分是中国人，只有我一个人是老外。
And it's amazing what no one has found a good way to do it. You have too many problems. How do you register with the government?
对吧？就是跟那个政府的打交道是很困难的。
How do you find Christian teachers who know how to teach the Chinese system but with Christian values?
就是你要发现老师呢能够教中国的孩子呢，又把这个福音带进去。
How do you
就很困难。
How do you build a school that still will meet the needs of the parents, that their kids will get well educated and pass the Gaokao to get into university?
OK， 那我们这些孩子们呢，仍然是需要经过大学联考。虽然是在这个基督徒教育的这个系统。
So there's almost no successful schools yet in China. That I've heard of some that are close, but not seriously successful.
所以我们在中国还没有很成功的与基督教的基督徒的福音来做底的这个学校。
Why is this so important?
为什么这么重要呢？
When we slow down and try to listen to God and evaluate what our organization should do, one Chinese man gave us a piece of advice.
我们在慢下来检讨我们自己，看我们在这个工作要怎么进行的时候，有一个中国人也给我们很好的忠告。
He said, when you're missionaries, you're a foreigner coming to our country, you have a very hard time meeting the mainstream people of China.
让你们这些外国人到了我们中国来呢，就很难见到这个普通的人。
What happens is you meet the fringe people who are not as comfortable, have problems in the culture, so they're more willing to talk to you as a foreigner. The people I meet when I first went to Taiwan, when I went to Indonesia, when I went to China, they're the weird people.
OK， 我们这些外国人所碰见的都是一些边缘的人 ，OK， 不是这个主流的人。
The mainstream people, they don't need me. They're already leaders and heads of their culture.
在普通的这人口当中，主流的人他不需要见我，所谓需要我们的都是一些边缘的人。
The fringe people or the strange people, they still need God. They need the gospel.
这些边缘的人，他们当然是很需要这个福音的。
But we are looking at how do we change the society so they're open to the gospel? How does the culture welcome Christ into the community?
所以我们就是看的是，我们就是要把这个整个一个文化能够开辟出来，让这个整个的一个文化呢是能够接受耶稣基督的。
So this Chinese consultant said a couple things to us.
这个中国的顾问就跟我们说了一些话。
One is he said you have to think long term.
他就是第一件事情就是说，你必须要想到长期性。
If you're going to meet the mainstream people, they won't trust you until you've been there 2 or 3 years.
就是看到普通的街景的小民看到你呢，你一直超过2、3年以后，他们才相信。
He also said if you want to meet the mainstream people, you have to be involved in things that they are interested in.
就是你要碰到主流人，你必须要跟他们说他们想要、他们有兴趣的事情。
And so what he said, the best work I've seen Evergreen do is the work you've done training the local school teachers how to be better English teachers.
所以我们的最好的工作就是呢，能够训练我们当地的这个学校的英文老师，让他们能够教更好的英文。
Now, why am I using so much time to tell you about this? Because I am looking for God. I think this is my knee-jerk reaction. I need to get into the education work in China, but I need you also to help.
为什么我要花这么多的时间来跟你讲？就是因为我们需要你。
Yeah.
需要你。Like Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam wants you.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Yeah. Last December, I met with 15 school teachers in Taiwan.
我去年12月的时候碰到15个，在太原碰到15个老师。
We've waited a long time to meet these Christian teachers. They're finally getting together to start to talk with each other.
我们等待了很久才能够把他们组织起来。
They want to start a school.
他们要开一个学校。
But one thing they cannot find.
他们少不了什么呢？
A leader, a principal that understands Chinese schools, understands Christian values, and Western educational skills.
西方的这个教育的水准，还是中国人还了解这个是我们基督徒的弟兄或姐妹。
Yep. And that principal could be here in Dallas. Maybe someone you know.
这个校长领导人呢，说不定就在达拉斯，说不定就是你自己。
Money isn't the big problem. Money is never the big problem. It's always the key person. That God will bring the right person to us.
钱从来不是问题，问题呢就是在能够找到一个很主要的人。
The software, the curriculum, the 课程, that's already being dealt with.
这课程呢，已经是解决了。
There's an organization in China that has taken all of the standard curriculum for the Chinese schools and learned how to use Christian values to teach it. And they are running a training program to teach Chinese teachers how to use that curriculum, the Chinese curriculum.
现在有一个组织呢，已经把这个中国的所有的这个课程呢，加进了那个基督教的思想，来看怎么样能够来教孩子。
How to register in each state, each province in China will be different, but all of us are discovering our relationships. The mayor of my city has almost asked me if I would start this school.
所以这个每个省当然情况不一样，但是我现在像我们省的这个市长呢，就是希望我们很快能够成立这个学校。
But until we find that principal, I can't. We know he's out there or she's out there somewhere. So pray with us and think about it.
所以直到我们找到这个校长，就我们就还是没有办法，所以就来为我们这件事情来祷告。
So. My ways are higher than your ways. As high as the heavens are above the earth, my ways are higher than your ways.
我的道路一直比你的道路高。
Do you understand now why I said I have no idea what I'm doing?
到现在你就了解了我为什么说我不知道我在做些什么。
The only thing I can do is listen to God, and when He moves us, either by His Word or how He moves our heart, we need to say, "Yes, God."
我只能听到神的声音，我们只能就是说，对神，我就跟你。
So right now, I feel like I have 10 years before my organization will retire me, and I want to see that school started somehow.
所以我就在看，我就是我的这个机构可能10年之内就要叫我退休，所以呢，我很希望能把这个学校能够开始。
But let me tell you another story. You heard about my grandfather. I don't know how much time. You said I could have 3 hours, right? Let me close with this story. It's about 5 minutes long, but it's one that has moved my heart about this knee-jerk reaction more than anything else.
就是我就是来跟你讲，做一个这个故事呢，这个是讲到说你的潜能、你的直接的反应的故事。
There was an American Methodist missionary working in Henan province back in the 20s, maybe even earlier. Yeah.